Hello students, welcome to the Smart World School of Complete Learning. Today our topic is human settlements, which is your chapter 10, and here the chapter starts with few pictures for you. Okay, and the first picture is about settlements at suitable locations. So look at the following picture and find suitable location for human settlement and show them in the picture. Okay, so in this place you have to find a suitable settlement where a house can be settled, human can be settled. Okay, so and why were the settlements shown at the specific places? Why should they be located there? Why can't they be located in other places? See in the figure 10.2a and 10.2b, another is 10.2c, 10.2d. There are some pictures showing you human settlements at different places. You have to observe these pictures 10.2a, b, and c, and think and answer the following questions. First question is like, what all can you see in the pictures, in all the four pictures? What are the familiar features? Which picture shows you the spare settlements? And which picture shows you agriculture? Which picture shows dense settlements and which shows high rise buildings? There are many pictures, different type of settlements, so these questions are based on that only. So, and from the following, assign a suitable name to each of the picture: rural settlement, tribal hamlet, town, or city. From these four, you have to name these and arrange the pictures according to the level of development in the settlements. Let's come to the geographical explanation. Human settlements flourished at places with favorable geographic conditions such as availability of water, a conducive climate, fertile land, etc. In the early settlements, the occupations of the people were dependent on the locally available natural resources. This gave rise to a separate settlements of people engaged in a particular occupation. For example, people along the sea coast are engaged in fishing. These settlements became fishing hamlets, kolivada, forest dwellers or tribal people use forest produce for their livelihood. They live in forest areas in tribal hamlets called Adivasi Padas. Agriculture is practiced in fertile areas. Farmer families build their houses in or near the fields. These settlements gradually grow bigger. The settlements where the original occupations of the majority of the people are based on natural resources are called rural settlements. Agriculture, fishery, etc. are some of these occupations. With the passage of time, other associated occupations also develop gradually in these rural settlements. As a result, people from surrounding areas migrate and settle there, leading to an increase in the rural population. Houses are built and different facilities are developed for the growing population. Importance of secondary and tertiary occupations increases. The proportion of people engaged in primary occupation declines. This process leads to the transformation of rural settlement into urban settlement. Due to religious, historical, commercial, educational, and administrative reasons, and also due to tourism, the original settlement may transform into an urban one. If the population and the necessary amenities increase on a large scale, the urban areas grow into metropolitan cities. Can you tell after observing this figure 10.3 in which a type of settlement is shown to you? See, there are notations also like A, B, and C, and here you can say different type of settlements, right? So, on the basis of the observation of this figure, discuss the following questions like, what is the difference between human settlement at A and B? See the image and observe the difference between settlement A and settlement B. What is the difference between the settlements B and C? Where do you find less than two houses and in what type of settlement do you live? Right? So it's a map and index is given to you in which a red block shows settlement, two red lines, parallel lines shows you road, Two black lines with straight blocks in them shows you railway. A black freehanded line shows you counter, and blue lines joining shows you the reverse. Okay, so you have to observe this. Yes, this map is a figure 10.4, and you have to answer the following questions, like name some of the settlements shown in the map, which type of settlements in the map are in the scattered form, and how are the houses in the settlements along roads arranged. In which settlements are the houses close together, and what could be the reason behind this density? Next is, can you now classify the settlements on the basis of these patterns? After considering various settlements, we realize that people settle down in different geographical conditions and adopt themselves to the conditions in the region. Patterns of human settlements evolve in accordance with the natural conditions. In this lesson, we are going to study the major patterns of human settlements and the reasons behind them. Come to geographical explanation. Using the resources from the surroundings, men constructed houses and started living in them. In the modern era of science and technology, people have made remarkable progress in the construction of shelter. They have been built skyscrapers. Man is thinking of constructing colonies on other planets and their satellites too in future. Settlements have provided men with stability. Rural settlement is the first step towards a stable life in human history. Urban settlements have evolved through the expansion and growth of rural settlements. A certain way of life is preserved in rural settlements. Increase in the population of rural settlements is the beginning of urbanization. Life in urban settlements is more dynamic. There are large scale economic correlations between rural and urban settlements. The day to day food requirement of the urban population is fulfilled by the rural settlements. Modernization, science, and technology leads to transformation in both types of settlements. Think about the possible processes that take place during the growth and development of settlements. Make a list of such processes. This type of settlements and the characteristics of their distribution can be described as follows. First is the scattered settlements. In scattered settlements, houses are few and far from each other. Generally, such settlements are found in the areas of high relief, dense forest, grasslands, hot desert, and extensive agricultural lands. Like it is shown to you in in figure 10.5, houses are at a distance from each other, are at a good distance from each other even. And characteristics of this type of settlement is that distance between scattered settlements can be clearly seen. These settlements have limited population as in small hamlets. Facilities and services in these settlements are not adequate as these settlements are closer to nature. They are free from pollution and they depend on the centrally located villages for their day-to-day requirements. Next is nucleated settlements. These settlements are generally close to water resources like brooks, rivulets, rivers, lakes, reservoirs, etc. In the deserts of Rajasthan, we find nucleated settlements near assured sources of water. Fertile plains, transport hubs, and mining centers, commercially centers often lead to the development of this type of settlement. Besides these reasons, defense, health, education, and other social and religious factors can also give rise to nucleated settlements, as you can see this in figure 10.6. Right, so the characteristics of this type of settlement is like in these settlements houses are close to each other. See in this figure also houses are close to each other and social services are available in these settlements. As these settlements develop in certain places over certain periods of time, they attain particular shapes. Roads are narrow and old parts of these settlements. People from different castes, religions, races, and ideologies live together in these settlements and hence they have a better social life. Next type of settlement is linear settlement. These are seen along roads, railways, rivers, sea coast, and in foothill regions, etc. This type of settlements are narrow in shape and they spread along a straight line, like you can see in the figure 10.7 also. Characteristics are like houses in these settlements are along a single line. As the settlement grows in the course of time, multiple lines emerge. Roads are parallel to each other. Besides houses, some shops can be seen too. These settlements grow along with the roads. For example, such settlements are found along the coastal tracts, major rivers, and national or state highways in our country. Always remember the influencing factors of human settlements locations. The physical are the physical factors are physiography, lands, the soils, climate, water supply, and riverbanks. Cultural factors are defense, health, education, tourism, historical significance, and the economic factors are irrigation, occupation, transport and communication, industries, trade, and government offices. Can you guess the name of metropolitan cities of India and the type of settlement where do you live? So there is a picture for you. You observe these photographs given below and identify the type of settlement shown here and write about them. Okay, so here comes your exercise. Question first is about answering the questions in short. Ex oh wait, yes, answer in short. First is explain the various types of human settlements. Second is to differentiate between nucleated and scattered statements, which can be found out from the chapter. Explain the natural factors affecting the location of human settlements. Fourth is explain how human settlements have evolved. Last is to differentiate between a hamlet and village. Question 2 is about identifying the type of settlements from the following statements. First, their money and time is saved by living on the farm. Next, there is a lot of social life in the settlement. Third, shops are located on both the sides of the road. Fourth, this settlement is found at the foothills of mountains along the coast. Fifth, each house is located away from each other. Sixth, this settlement is good from a security point of view. Seventh, having houses away from each other is good for health. And next is that houses are too close to each other. Question third is about studying the diagram and identify the type of settlement. See the diagram. Again, there are notations and index. Notations are like A, B, and C, and the index shows you the river, which can be denoted by the two blue parallel lines. Main road is denoted by a pink straight line. Railways are denoted by dotted line of a black pen. Contour is a yellow line, and settlement is about a black dot. Okay, so question A is settlement A has 5 to 6 houses and the place does not have any other facility. Question B is notation B has a high school, a big market, and a small theater. Point C is notation C has houses, farms, many shops, and small industries. And D part is that D is a natural harbor. Many factories have been established here. Right. C is a settlement that has developed along the roadside and give two reasons of its location here. Okay, so the chapter ends here. Go through the chapter, read the points and the concepts, and do the exercise. Thank you.